Welcome, welcome, welcome. The power of keeping it to yourself. Contrary to disbelief, when you're in the middle of doing something that's important to you, to your core, to what you're striving towards in life and what you're arriving towards, and maybe it's a dream, maybe it's something hold sacred to yourself. And the reason why I say the power of keeping it to yourself is because in the beginning, of any kind of translation or full transformation to what you're going towards, you have to keep it to yourself. You have to craft a skill. If last video I did on mastery, the power of keeping things to yourself, a lot of people do not do. And, today I went to Red Lobster to have dinner. I love my Red Lobster. And it's not because Red Lobster is phenomenal. Maybe it is for some people, but I particularly like this place because they have high level, high potential, and they're like high energy and they're good and they're engaging and they connect with you. There's a few, and then there's others that do not. But the reason why I go there is because of the few that actually do. And when I go there, there's one guy I particularly like to talk to, and he's always like, "Hey, how are you? Welcome. It's good to see you." And he's very warm, kind of like a results-oriented type guy, right? And he makes you feel good. So I engaged him a little bit, and we just got a deep conversation and about exercise somehow. And I was explaining how I'm doing this thing called 75 Hard. That if you haven't looked into it, it's a phenomenal thing that Andy Frisella put together, who's a CEO, owner of First Form. I don't know what exactly his title is. He owns that stuff. He owns First Form. Anyway, and he's like, "Yeah, I exercise too." And we got in a great conversation. We established some rapport. We went a little deep and we talked about something. And usually when you talk to me for 5 minutes, I'm always like, "What do you want to do? I know you don't want to work at Red Lobster the rest of your life. What is that thing you want to do?" And this kid literally stops and like is engaged. I mean, we had about 5 to 10 minutes of deep rapport connecting. He's into music, he's into theater, he's into this and that, which led me to ask that specific question, you know. And he says, "Man, you wouldn't believe me if I told you." That's what I'm trying to remember the words. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." And I paused and I nodded. And I said, "Try me." And he's like, "Oh, I don't really tell a lot of people this." And I said, "You know what? I get it." "So what do you mean you get it?" I said, "Sometimes the people, when you say something, you know, people don't, they laugh at you or, they're like, 'Oh, you can't do that.'" And he says, "Yeah, that's exactly why I don't want to say it." I said, "You know what? When you tell me, right, because I can't let this one go, buddy, you know, we're going to encourage you. We're going to empower you. And we're going to inspire you." And his eyes just lit up like, "Really?" Like, he doesn't even know me. He knows me from me going in there a couple times. But I said, "Yeah, I want to hear your dreams." And he looks around and he's like, "Oh, wait." And then he engages someone behind me. Waits for this girl to go. This girl kind of had some low energy on her and she just judged. It's kind of hard. I'm a New Yorker. And she leaves to go get an order. And he says, "You know what? I want to be Broadway. I want to be on Broadway one day." He says, "It's something that's always near and dear to my heart." And he's like, I've always wanted to sing on Broadway." And I said, "Brother, you could do it, man. You could do it." I said, "Is that what you really, really want?" He says, "Yeah, more than anything." I said, "That's excellent." I said, I can't wait to see you on stage one day." I said, "One day, maybe I'll throw flowers at you." And he laughed. And that's the thing, sometimes the power of keeping your dreams and keeping things to yourself because you don't want others to laugh at you. You don't want others to hostage negotiate you for your dreams because they decided to stop where they were. They decided to not do the work. They decided to that it's okay to watch TV late into the night and that's it. And I'm going to check out. instead of checking in, right? Which I think is very important. And and I said, listen, I said, what have you done to move forward in your dreams? You know, what have you? I forgot what I asked. Well, what did you do to start and move forward in that? And he says, man, I practice singing every day. You know, I play music. And then all of a sudden we got interrupted. He got into it. I said, listen, here's my email. I want you to email me. You know, I'm going to give you a gift, and it's going to help you really focus and get a vision in your life. And we're going to help you reverse engineer it and figure out exactly what you need to do to get there. So would that be of value to you? And he just was overwhelmed by me, right? Because that kind of happens when I connect, when I vibe with somebody, you know, and I want to serve them, man. I want to give them the gift that they want to give themselves. And I think enough people do not do that. And it's huge. It's a huge piece of the puzzle in life, right? You know, if he was like 98, 99, and he says, yeah, my dream's to be on Broadway, be like, that's cool, man. You know, maybe I would have just listened and not encouraged and inspired and empowered. And maybe I would have even said, well, why are you here instead of there? Why aren't you near there? You know, because that's the next step. When I talk to this kid, and this isn't even in what I specifically do, right? And maybe it will be, right? Because I help experts become authorities in their space. And maybe I'm going to help this kid devise a plan. So I gave this kid, you know, I say kid because I'm a little older than him, but I gave this young man my email. And I said, are you going to email me? He said, yeah, sure. You know, and I said, are you sure? I said, I don't want to give you my email if you're not going to use it. You know, and he says, I'll do it. And he says, I'll email you. I said, well, why don't you do it right now while I'm here? You know, if you're serious about it, right? Because I like to put a little pressure on people. I don't want to waste my time giving someone information and you're not going to move forward and you're going to throw it to the side. So I looked and he went on his phone. I just walked out, right? And got my food and left. And all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, man, you know, I'm back in my other office, and I look down and I say, hey, this kid emailed me. I emailed him back. I said, hey, brother, it was great to meet you too. It's good connecting with like-minded individuals, and I look forward, and I'm going to be in contact with you very soon, whatever I said. And, you know, I'm going to give you a gift, right? Which is a gift of my service, which a lot of us don't do. We don't give the gift of who we are and what we stand for the goodness and greatness of other people. So I pose a question here. What do you keep to yourself that you don't want others to know because it's a sacred dream for yourself? Right here, if you comment below, if you watch this video this far, awesome, right? I'm kind of ghettoing this video. You will be encouraged, empowered, and influenced to share so we can inspire you. So you can really get after it, man. Because you know, majority of people we surround ourselves with, we tell our dreams, they're like, yeah, that's cool. And they don't expand. They don't say, man, what would that be like? What would that be like if you were on Broadway? What would that feel like? What would you smell? What would you see? Who would you be around? Who would be the ideal actor or actress that you'd want to surround yourself with and be next to while you're on stage? What's your favorite plays? What kind? So it's like we don't encourage each other. We just kind of like leave it dead. We don't say anything, right? We never stand for other people's greatness. And if you're watching this, I want to encourage, empower, inspire you to encourage other people around you. I don't care what's going around this environment, right? Be there to encourage people. Be there to be a bigger version for other people. You never know, because if they rise up, they might take you with them, right? So really think about that. You know, where, you know, and I believe sometimes you got to keep things to yourself. Like I'm doing the 75 hard. I just told you guys, but I'm not really telling people. People, you know, one guy just said, I saw you like 3 times around town. I said, yeah. I said, I stop my car. I said, I take a 45-minute to 60-minute walk every single day. And he says, really? I said, yeah, I'll just pull my car over and I want to move this body. I want to move this, right? I want to keep this thing in shape to the best of my ability, right? And I mean, walking does the legs and lower back. But I didn't really expand on it, on what I'm doing. I just said, this is what I do every day. The conversation got deeper. I would explain what I'm doing because it's changing my mindset. It's changing my emotions. It's changing my physicality. But sometimes the power to keep things to yourself, you're really doing the work to plug forward so you can move from past to present to future, and you're doing the work. It's like I'm doing this video. I think it's nearly 11:30, right? Because I still got a few more hours of work to do for some of my guests, AKA my clients. So I want to sit and focus in on what I need to do for them so I could serve them. And I have a list of 6 this week that I have to, and then next week I got more. But these are things that I told them that I would do for them, right? And this is my sacred time because no one is in my office, right? It's me alone with the work, focused. But I want to bring this to you, man, because sometimes there's power to keeping things to yourself. There's power because once you leak it out, once you speak it, sometimes the energy leaves you. But also, maybe you've said it too many times. You've told people your truth, your dreams, or whatever it is for you, and you didn't follow through. So you know what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. And then you do it again, and you do it again, and create a negative habit loop. But I always say, keep it to yourself, and then do the work to get some momentum. Way for you or that way, whatever way movement is. Just learned something interesting about Julian Treasure and the way people interpret things from different countries. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But think about what you need to work on in your life. Like the one thing that could impact your life. Start doing it. Start making it really important to move yourself forward. But the power to keep it to yourself until you get to a place where you're actually getting traction and competence and confidence, and you're moving forward. You're starting to see the results, and you're starting to see the plan work out for itself. Then maybe say, hey, man, this is what I want to do. And like someone might say, you're already doing that, man. That's awesome. What else are you going to do? Right? You're already getting traction in it because now you're building trust and confidence in yourself by completing and competing with that action, right? And I think it's important. It's like like in life, the power to keeping things to yourself and get traction in them before you tell other people. I think that's most important because then you honor who you are and what you stand for. And I think that's exceptionally important, man. The power of keeping things to yourself. Again, I'm a guy from the side, and I hope that helped. And get to work, man. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you desire to accomplish, start doing it. Whatever it is, start today, right? You got to get streaks. In the words of Seth Godin, he has a great book called Practice, and he talks about the streaks, right? The habit building, right? And it's moving day by day by day by day and do that thing so you can get what you want. It's not an every other day or every 3 days or once a week kind of thing. It's an everyday kind of thing, man. So the power to keep it to yourself. Again, what do you keep to yourself that you don't want others to know because it's a sacred dream for yourself? Here, no one's going to laugh at you, right? And if there are trolls, I'll delete them or whatever. They can troll off. Here you will be encouraged, empowered, influenced to share so we can all inspire you here because that's what we do. That's what I do as a guide. We inspire each other. Take a deep breath. Take care, man. I hope everyone has an amazing day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world.